welcome all of you. I guess my message today, short and sweet, it's good to be home. Thank you all for, I really am humbled by this opportunity, the board, my selection. I was just, it's been a fantastic journey with all of you over the past few months, and I really appreciate it, and I absolutely promise to do my best to make this Vinci Center the best it possibly can be and build up this Lehigh Valley technical workforce to really compete here in the 21st century. Now, I want to take a few minutes to talk, I guess, about my history, not necessarily from a job progression, but more from an emotional path. My science career, I like to tell people, actually began when I was 7 years old, when my parents, who are sitting over here, bought me my first telescope, and I was brave enough, finally, with my golden retriever, to go outside and look at the wonders of the night sky, and immediately I was hooked. That was my aha moment, and it wasn't because I could suddenly see the moons of Jupiter, or I could suddenly see craters on the moon. My aha moment was because I realized there was so much more to learn. And there were so many opportunities that I knew I was going to have to make that happen. And then throughout my grade school into high school, I had some amazing teachers who became heroes. Mr. Bud Cole, who actually showed us, took science out of the book, showed us how to tap maple trees and identify birds. Mr. John Terry, Mr. Larry Schaefer, who allowed me just to run through the planetarium, the observatory, creating new planetarium programs. I was creating science, and it was absolutely fantastic. They really helped me along this journey because they knew that was my passion, that's what I wanted to do. So I got into the industry then, and I was doing some fantastic things, some things I just loved, but a hole in my heart really began to grow because I started to realize that I was the exception, not the norm. I thought everybody had this support system. Everybody was aware of the great things going on in science, and they all had these opportunities to grow and to go after these fantastic jobs. But I met people who said, oh, if only I had that inspiring teacher, or that support system that would have helped me keep going, or those hands-on activities that would have made me realize that science isn't just about the trivia in the book, that it's about real-life hands-on things that I can do to better myself and better society. And it was really, as that happened, that I made it my professional mission, I suppose, to develop programs to give more kids the opportunity to come into that pipeline at the very start and become aware of the wonders of science and math. Understand the career opportunities that are out there. And we know certainly they're not all going to get into science and math and technology and engineering, but the fact is we need to give them that opportunity. And not just, you know, any certain socioeconomic group. We need to do that for everybody. We need to be broad-reaching, we need to be deep-reaching. And that really became my mission. I joined the National Aerospace Development Center, and it was there that I really started to develop these programs. The first thing we had to do was understand what the problems are. Across the country, working with state officials in Texas and Colorado and Alabama to understand their workforce issues, to understand their education issues. And I'm not always a statistics guy, but I want to throw a few out for you that I think are rather mind-boggling. I worked particularly in aviation and space, and right now, the average age of a space engineer is 55 years old. There are companies like Lockheed and Boeing and NASA. In particular, Lockheed has a 160,000 member workforce. And they're coming out and saying 100,000 of their 160,000 workforce is eligible to retire in the next 5 years. We are facing a major retirement cliff here in the sciences that we really need to be doing something about. And finally, NASA, this is the most amazing of all, some officials came out recently and said NASA employs more people older than 70 than they do younger than 30. So it's clear then, not just we have this issue at the very top of the pipeline, but we also have this issue at the bottom because we're not getting enough skilled workers in to come in and at least start this knowledge transfer before all of our retirees retirees head off into the sunset on their boats and such. So it was really all about then going out and working with states and solving those problems. Because the paradigms are shifting now. It used to be smart kids would come up and they would just go to where the companies are, wherever they may be. And states, and I can give you a perfect example of this, states would always say there's enough talent to go around. If we need more, we're going to go into the neighboring state and get it. And I was made aware of this when I first went over to Alabama and worked with their state officials, and they said, we're going to be okay, because if we need more people, we got some spies in Georgia. We're going to pull out their best and brightest, give them a better life over here. So then I met with the Georgia folks about a month later, and they said, we're okay, because when we need more people, we're going to head over to Alabama. We got some people in there. We're going to pull them all in here, and we're going to be good, because we'll give them a better lifestyle. And so that now doesn't work anymore. Now, what's happening is, because there is a lack of talent out there available to these companies, this lack of technical talent, now companies are moving to where the talent is, to where the talent is continuing to grow, to where they know 5 years, 10 years down the road that they will be able to achieve their mission because talent is coming up from the schools. Places like Silicon Valley, places like Research Park and Research Triangle in North Carolina. And the whole idea now is shifting from competition to collaboration. We see that now at the federal level with the Department of Labor. We see that now at the state level. What is happening now is across the country, the proliferation of regional partnerships is what's making this science, technology, engineering, and mathematics workforce grow. These strategic partnerships are representatives from industry, employers, military, and private industry. They are educators from high schools, middle schools, 2-year schools, 4-year schools. They are community developers. They are economic developers. They are workforce developers. They are informal science education groups like the Vinci Science Center. These high-level officials are getting together and saying, we have got to grow our own talent. We have got to create a pipeline, starting in the high chair, taking it all the way to the rocking chair. We've got to start with these kids. We've got to create that spark. We've got to shepherd them through middle school, high school, all the way through, get them into the industry of their choice, and keep them in that industry. And that is the only way that these regions are going to survive in this technologically advanced 21st century. And I am so excited about the fact that the Board of Trustees for the Da Vinci Science Center have this vision that the Da Vinci Science Center wants to help take the lead to build these regional partnerships, ultimately ending up in having the Lehigh Valley be a significant force in the global economy, starting by building this region here, building a sustainable region. And so I'm so excited to be hearing from industry and to be hearing from education, saying we're already doing some great things. And I'm excited to be able to use the lesson that I've learned to be able to create new programs. I'm excited about the programs that are already here. The Da Vinci Science Center has some fantastic programs in all the groups that we want to reach. The grade schools, we have to get to them. We have to get to those kids and take them out of the book, give them some hands-on science activities. And I invite all of you to please take a walk after this is over and see the excitement of those kids that are out there right now doing some really, really great, fun activities that are helping them realize that they can do science, they can do mathematics. We have to get to those middle schoolers. We have to then keep that spark going, where at middle school, we start connecting, building that bridge between what they're studying in math, in science, in 8th grade, 9th grade, connecting those to future careers. We need to stay with those high schoolers, making sure they understand the pathways they can go, the 2-year schools, the 4-year schools, to get to those careers. We need to continue to be working with the 2-year schools, the 4-year schools, making sure they're talking to industry, because industry's demands change every 6 months, and very often it takes more than a few years for curriculum to change, so we have to make sure that education is talking to that industry. And industry, of course, needs to be very involved, as it seems they very much are here, in helping all along this pipeline to really build their next generation workforce. And so I'm so excited with the Teacher Leader Institute that is already in place and already doing some wonderful things for the Lehigh Valley. All of these other programs, even if you go out there, you'll see some retirees and just see the excitement in their eyes and see how excited they are to pass their knowledge along to the younger generation. And this is what we need to do across the board. The Vinci Science Center has a fantastic board, a fantastic vision. And the only thing that was left for me was to understand if the Vinci Science Center had that foundation to really build from, to really create those opportunities and make them a reality. And I came here a month ago and I got to meet the teams. I hope all of you get a chance to meet every single employee, every single volunteer here. Not just because of their background, but because of their passion. They're here because this is what they love. This is what they want to do. They want to do everything you all want to do here, and that's build this next generation workforce. And I'm so excited about that. Science, ladies and gentlemen, is the literacy of the future. It is what's going to get us to that 21st century workforce. We need to change the attitudes towards STEM education and workforce development. We've got the group here that can do it. I'm so excited to be here with the Vinci Science Center, and we are going to make that happen. Thank you very much.